Welcome to the Made Morning Show right here from a Farmers County 034. Your host Noah Nasiali Kadima na leo niko na wageni. I have some guests here. I have our breakfast host, our breakfast show host. Hey, yes, Lillian Thomas. She has another name, ndawambia baadaye. And we have another guest, and he will introduce himself shortly. Today is a brilliant day, another brilliant day. We've seen a lot of rain across the country. And we'll be sharing with you from tomorrow. We'll be sharing with you climate change effects, in other words, weather forecast of the different regions, especially regions where agriculture is being practiced, and what you can do to harvest water and other tips. This is your host Noah Nasiali Kadima, and we want to discuss some very interesting discussion today: the careers in agriculture. What are these careers? We want to talk about things like the syllabus. What are people taught? Why is it that when people finish college, they still have to go to another institution to get to sharpen their skills? What is it that is not being done right? We know that Kenya has some of the best brains in agriculture, but yet it also has the worst in terms of the farmers are not being given the opportunity to really play the role. But another thing that we also have as a difference, as a challenge, is that the young people in agriculture feel that they're not being appreciated enough. They feel like that they can do better. Something that is also coming out very clearly is that there is no specific association, legal association. We see all the other professions. You see doctors and dentist board. We see the architectural board. We don't see the agronomic association of Kenya coming out loud and clear to give directions. We know everybody out there is an agronomist, but who verifies, who vets this profession? And that's what we want to discuss in detail today. I have two guests, and I know I've ambushed Lillian, yes, but she is one of us, and she's going to give us some highlights and some tips about this, basically careers in agriculture. This we'll discuss quite a lot. Karibuni sana. Karibuni sana. Nimeambia musikiki. Aya, tusikike tena. Karibuni tena.
Asante.
Welcome. Introduction.
My name is Lillian Thomas. I do the breakfast show right here at our farmers, but I have a background in agriculture. I did BSc horticulture in campus, but right now we are in media. It's more of consultation being done in media. Yes, we are doing it digitally. That's what we do. We teach farmers, try to educate farmers, try to address some agricultural issues in our shows. That's what I do for now.
So basically, e-extension services.
E-extension.
Fantastic.
Services.
Okay, my name's Steven Casio Sieko,
And
I'm
hey, you got a majina mingi, my friend. Repeat again.
Okay, my name's Steven Casio Sieko, and I'm an agricultural extension officer.
Yes.
I graduated from Mukura Agricultural College, did a diploma in agriculture and biotechnology.
Yes.
And I'm happy to join a farmers media.
Yes.
And I always teach farmers on different new technologies that we normally use in the farm to ensure that we have more yields from the farm per unit area. And I'm happy to join this group, and we know that we are going to do something good to ensure our youth are going far and they are securing their job opportunities in this field.
Fantastic. Karibu sana. Welcome Lillian and Steven. I'm Steven or CSL. We'll stick with Steven. So let us know in this discussion that we want to have. It's something that has really been eating me up. I receive quite a number. If you look at my inbox, I receive more than, I think, 300 messages every month of young people who have who say, I'll read some of it, who say some basic things like, oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. I really need some advice. I want to perfect my skills. I just want to know what are some of these things that we can be able to do. And today is what the discussion we want to actually have very seriously. But I want to start with, is agriculture really worth it? Let's start with Lilia. Is agriculture really worth it? Not farming, agriculture as a subject, is it worth studying?
From my perspective right now.
Yes.
Okay. I feel like the practical part of it is worth it than the theory part of it. Personally, I think there's an illusion. You see people in campus and
Yes.
people in colleges.
Yes.
People in colleges tend to do a lot of practical work, right? People who are doing diplomas. You see the way Stephen is from Bukura.
Yes.
I was with people from Bukura in my attachment.
Yes.
And these people come like already skills. You find like him, he was in an agricultural college.
All right.
So the college is purposed for agriculture, basically. So
Okay.
everything they do is agriculture. So you find their practicals start way earlier than before we start our practicals. We are in a campus setting that has several courses.
Okay.
So like you're doing theory first year, second year, by the time you're getting to practicals, it's around third year. Third year I'm coming for attachments.
Okay.
Someone from Bukura doing his diploma is coming for attachment. But this guy already has hands-on skills more than I do.
Yes.
Because they are more purposed. I think it would be more efficient if we had schools purposed basically for agriculture. This thing of having a school of agriculture in a campus, it kind of mixes everything. But if it is mainly purposed for agriculture,
Yes.
I think it will make more sense.
Interesting. So what you're saying is that whatever is there is fine.
It is fine.
But it has to be perfected so that if it's agriculture, iko ndani agriculture, it's not agribusiness, it's not what, just like, so basically more of the practical skills.
More of the practicals. Like just isolate it. It's agriculture, it's on its own.
Like medicine.
It's on its own.
Year 1 nasikia wanaanzanga kukata sijui nini wanakata. Year 2 wanaendelea kukata kudissect. Ni kudissect ama ni bisect? Dissecting. Yes, hiyo. And diagnosis. So how is your course structured?
Actually, that's what I wanted to go to because I walk into first year, and first year we are doing a lot of common courses. So we are doing mathematics 1, mathematics 2, we have chemistry, organic chemistry, inorganic, analytical chemistry. And you see these courses, the fact that agriculture is a science, you are all students taking science courses.
Yes.
So it is agriculture, industrial chemistry, it is just crowded. That is what you're doing for first year. So first year it's more of common units.
Mukuje tu
Kujeni
economics,
wote,
mathematics,
macroeconomics, like mmekuwa na hizo vitu mob sana.
So and then second year, what happens in second year?
So second year ndo like mnaingia more into agriculture because unapata as much as first year tunafanya some courses in agriculture. Nika foundation. So in first year I did introduction to soil science. Basic. What is soil? What soil does? Nini. So hakuna hata practicals about it.
Let me whisper. Si hizo ndio tunafundishwa pia kwa high school.
Exactly.
Na primary school.
Exactly. No, imagine first year basi if you did agriculture in high school, it's like you already know these things. Umekuja unajua. The only thing you're doing in first year is common courses za chemistry na maths and the likes.
Okay.
So for you to branch ni kwenda mbele. Second year, third year now when you start going sasa tunaenda deeper into cell chemistry on its own.
Yes.
Cell physics on its own. Cell biology on its own.
So that's third year.
Second year. So third year unapata now you're being more specific on your course, like the way I did horticulture. So you find that year now we are going into more. Now we are doing vegetables specifically, fruits specifically from that year. But unapata this first year, second year, we do more of general things. See what as agriculture students, pia.
So you do like all the students are doing the same
courses. The same
Okay.
So by the time una branch out in that year.
Third year.
So that's like you have 2 years, then you may branch out.
So you only have 2 years to perfect.
You have 2 years to perfect.
And how practical are the courses in terms of like ukishaanza hiyo soil science? Mnafundishwa kupima mchanga, kuangalia mchanga, kunini, all that. I hope umaliza na university vizuri. Usichome. Wazafika wakwambie hii degree yako ni gani chomwa?
I think that is dependent on the school you go to because schools have different facilities.
All right.
You can find a school that has all the facilities you need to be doing your soil testing and everything, and you might find another school that lacks it. So it's depending on the school you go to. And I think that's why I always say, be very careful, the school you're choosing.
So at what point, considering the first and second year, the first and second year, you don't have any information.
You are gathering information.
So how do you gather information? Do you go and ask before you select because normally you're just called. You're called, you're told you wanted to study agriculture, umeitwa. But then other people don't even select agriculture. It's normally if you don't make the point to medicine,
kidogo tu
unaangukia
manukisa
agriculture.
science lakini kidogo tu
Unaingia
narudishwa
huko.
hapo.
So is that the beginning of the problem? Because the schools, it's like a by the way.
Mhm.
So do you think that is part of the problem of actually getting this right? Because today what we're going to discuss in detail is that we want to make sure that we're understanding some basics. We're understanding how do you end up studying agriculture? Is it something that you planned? Is it something that you chose? You see, when you're growing up, you asked, what do you want to be when you grow up?
And everyone wanted to be a doctor.
Everybody wanted to be a doctor. Nobody wanted to be a teacher. Later on in life, you're asking, Kumbe, I should have been a banker. I'll be seeing money every day.
I knew.
So is it something that people normally think, I want to study agriculture? Or it's normally something like, oh, let me study agriculture?
For most people, it's just let me do agriculture.
Let me
It is
just-
like a resort. Like unaona like option A may fail. Option
B
C.
imekataa.
So option C,
Na
by
ulikuwa-
the way,
Atapata
bado in
unachukua
science.
unachukua the E option. Extension services.
Now let me tell you the funny thing.
Yes.
Kwetu,
Yeah.
I was very good in high school.
Uh-huh.
Very good in languages. Extra good.
Uh-huh.
And then I happened that I did all sciences. So
Mhm.
I did physics, chemistry, biology.
Yes.
And I did business.
Uh-huh.
By the time we were completing school, and then
Mhm.
there's this mentality iko kwetu. By the way, I would say there's a way family ilini influence kidogo into agriculture.
Into agriculture.
Because I really wanted to go and do something in the arts, I
Pause.
wanted to do English
Pause on
lit
that
or
part.
something.
Let me find out. By the way, which college were you in?
Maseno University.
Maseno University. Fantastic. Stephen,
Yes.
how is your course structured? Because I hear diploma courses are structured differently, especially in sciences. How was your course structured?
My course was structured as first semester.
Mm-hmm.
We did these introduction things that we did in high school. Let us say math 111, the way she has said, chemistry 111, those rural sociology.
Yeah.
We do these communication skills
Yes.
to ensure that we have that language.
Are those things
Tunaweza
important,
ongea.
by the way? By the way, important.
Yeah,
Very.
they are important.
Why?
Because if you teach me
Yes.
about communication skills,
Yes.
I'll be able to communicate to my colleagues or to my farmers.
I mean, is it important to start with,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or is it important to be taught as you continue?
It's important to start with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Proceed.
So, but I had these practicals, which we called it agricultural seminars.
Mm-hmm.
We were given the plots
Mm-hmm.
to do practicals every time, and then we were in the farm
Mm-hmm.
doing different crops. And after that, second semester,
Mm-hmm.
we go, because I did agriculture and biotechnology.
Mm-hmm.
First, I did introduction to agriculture.
Mhm.
So I was being taught generally
Okay.
first semester,
Just move closer to the mic.
general things
Yes.
in agriculture.
All right.
But when I moved to second semester,
Yes.
that first year,
Uh-huh.
I started this introduction to biotechnology. I did things like post-harvesting and handling.
Now you are scaring me. What is biotechnology?
Biotechnology.
For the purpose of our viewers, in relation to what we are saying.
Okay. Biotechnology,
Mhm.
this is just a new technology that we come up with. You study,
Mhm.
then you can come up with the new varieties of crops that you can go and breed or improve a certain variety, such as you can breed banana by tissue culture. I did that thing. I went to modern biotechnology lab in Masidamliro University, and I did that tissue culture in banana, which is part of biotechnology. We breed one banana, you can get almost 1,000 seedlings from one banana, and those seedlings you can get that they are free from diseases, and they grow faster and they mature faster, and you get a dramatic yield per unit area.
So
Yeah.
that is the difference.
Yeah.
So in second, in that is, you already started that in first year,
Yeah, I started
Second
in first
semester.
year. Yeah, second
and
semester.
you are still doing
Me, I'm still doing general
microeconomics
courses.
and the general courses for everybody.
Mhm.
Very interesting disconnect there. So, how does your second year look like?
My second year.
Yes.
My second year first. After finishing my first year, I went for attachment, and I was.
The first year.
Yeah, first year.
Where did you start your attachment?
That year.
Wow.
After finishing my first year,
Yes.
I went for attachment, and I was taken. I was in Maseno. I did I was doing with an extension officer in Kisumu Northwest Ward, and I was as an assistant extension officer, and I was teaching different farmers in Kisumu County. After that, that was in 2017. I did for 3 months, and I went back to college. I continued in my second year. My second year, we can come here and we start things with the soil. I did soil physics, I did soil science, and yeah.
So what you're saying is, by the time you start, by the time she's on third year, you're already on first year, doing things that she will start doing in third year.
Yeah.
Very interesting. And when it comes to the practicals part of it, do you start immediately first year or do you wait up to like second? How long is your course, by the way, at Bukura?
It takes 3 years, but they brought it to 2 years. But the syllabus is for 3 years. But diploma we normally do for 2 years.
2 years.
And the certificate 1 year.
Okay.
But they have scheduled it up
Alright.
to 2 years. But they say that they want to get it back to 3 years. So kama ukipata mtu wa diploma, all the things that I was doing 3 years,
Yes.
I'm being given to do in 2 years. Kumaanisha niko na almost 10 units na nilifaa nikuwe hata nafanya 5 units. So I was given everything there, and I was like even busy than a high school student.
But did it work best for you?
Yeah, I was comfortable.
So you have actually done her 4 years in 2 years.
Yeah.
Nimechoka hapo kidogo lakini sawa. But now let me ask both of you. When you look at the practicality of the courses that you did, vis-a-vis what is already in the jobs market now, both in the jobs market or self-employment, when you talk about farming being a very practical thing is a very interesting thing, because we say farmers should manage their farms. Our Jais of agriculture, they've never gone to study agriculture. Myself, I've never studied agriculture as in a classroom setup. I've just done some online courses. I've done some courses from CropNuts, some training from CropNuts about soil management and soil science. I've done some other courses, which I'm doing it out of my own curiosity, wanting to learn, and also assisting farmers with the same knowledge. Do you think that what you are prepared for is what you faced out here in the market, in the jobs market?
No.
Let's first start with Lillian.
It actually depends on how ready you are with your practical skills. Because now when you come to the job market,
yes,
it's getting more practical. If I get employed in an organization and they need an extension person, how much of the practical thing can I do? You know, you've done the theory part, which is okay.
And I just want to, I mean, I would really love to hear from anybody, those who are watching us, and tell us what you're thinking. What my question is, let me rephrase the question again, is whatever you are trained on, be it, I mean, there's communication, there's math 101, there's all these things. If you package them properly, do you think that would be right, or the courses need to be redefined, especially for the jobs market? For example, a good example would be, what do farmers want? You know, how best would you be able to serve a farmer? I mean, consider looking at the you doing some of the, I mean, the management of our digital media and all this, and even the breakfast show and talking to farmers. Do you think you are rightly prepared, or there's some things that you did extra that helped you?
There's some things personally for me I did extra that helped me. You see, for his case, he did something like communication skills. I didn't have communication skills in my course. It wasn't a part of it. It is something you learn along the way. But luckily for me, we had IT as part of our program. So like basic IT. So for the digital market, you are okay. You are good to go.
So, Stephen, if you look at it very critically and ask yourself, I am somebody who's finishing Bukura today. But then when did you finish?
I finished in 2018.
So in 2018, somebody who's finishing Bukura today, have they done the same course? Was the course content the same?
Yeah, exactly.
So how ready was it? How ready is this person as compared to now the current jobs market? Because you are trained. Are you trained to be extension officers? Or are you trained to be agronomists? Are you trained to be farm managers?
They're being trained to be extension officers generally. You can go in the field, be employed as a manager, or you can just be an extension officer to teach farmers different technologies. The person that is finishing Bukura now,
Yes.
he or she will be on the better side if we come from the college and come direct to the field to start. Even you can just start with volunteering. You know, most of us, we come from the college thinking that we are going to be given that opportunity immediately.
So pause on that. And that's a very thing. And that's what should be. That's what government should actually say. I mean, if agriculture is indeed the number one foreign exchange earner for Kenya, the government should actually make sure that the young people are being trained well. I mean, it's not rocket science. Because if there are more people who are trained well in agriculture, they'll help more farmers, production will be higher, increase.
Everything. GDP increases.
Exactly, and all that. So there's nothing wrong with saying that. Yeah. But what I'm just asking is, this particular course, I was taught how to grow these tomatoes in 2018, and I perfected to offer extension services on that. 2019, 2020, 2021. Corona came, new pests and diseases, climate change, locusts, and all this. Is the person who's leaving college today prepared for these things that have happened in 3 years that you've been there?
No.
Is it something that needs to be done in consideration, or is there somewhere else people finishing colleges in agriculture or universities in agriculture, they go somewhere else and sharpen their skills? Or rather, is there a need for that?
To sharpen your skills, you have to go direct to your field. Even as I have said that we have volunteering.
Yes.
If you volunteer, you will be perfecting your skills. If you perfect your skills,
Yes,
you will be better than that guy who came from the college na akaanza kufanya vitu zingine tofauti apart from his college. You will not be getting his skills better.
Hapo umenilima kidogo lakini sawa. Hata mimi ile kitu nafanya sasa hizi kusomea. So basically you're saying the willingness, the only way you can sharpen your skills is by going to the ground and start doing practically.
But then again, Noah, the way you've mentioned something about actually restructuring the course. You know, we've had the course, like there's always a course outline. If I am to graduate with a degree in horticulture, I should have done introduction to these, like kuna basic things that I should have covered. I should have covered something about soil. I should have. If I don't have those units, I am not fit for graduation, okay? So right now, like you see this course outline imekuanga kutoka kitambo. We've been having agricultural courses from kitambo, which has been here. But we are in the 21st century. Between 2010 and right now, we have a lot of technologies around. Between 2010 and right now, my disease tuko nazo ni different. It's time they reviewed. Like they see wanaongeza nini kwa syllabus. Ni nini wanatoa sahi imekuwa obsolete. Like we don't need it.
Yeah, because see, when you look at
they just need to review it.
Okay, interesting. Very interesting discussion. Those who are watching us, this is a farmers media mid-morning show where we're discussing careers in agriculture. What are these careers in agriculture? How do they look like? Share your comments in the comment section. Let us know if you are studying in agriculture. If you've just graduated, I know most of you are there. Mongare, I can see you. Mongare, I can see you. Make sure you let us know what was the course content in agriculture in the courses that you were doing. What would you like changed? If you had an opportunity to change the syllabus and perfect some of the skills that you had, let us know what are some of these things. This is a farmers media, your mid-morning show, and we later on we will talk about something that I have here. It's called mechanics. I've mentioned it, but we'll be talking about it later on. What I want to ask you is, time has evolved. Everything evolves. Agriculture has evolved from the days that we started off 14 years ago to now. I can tell you for sure, I used to plant California Wanda as a variety of capsicum. There's another one called, it was still California Wanda, but from another company called Griverton. It was a batty. It was very nice. I really loved that. After that, we started doing a Super Bell from Continental. Oh, yeah. From there, I went on and did Commandant. Then I did Admiral. I did. I've done quite. I've planted. There's this one from this guys are called who? I've forgotten. Yes. So they have another one, a variety, Kenya Highlands. It used to be called Kenya Highlands. I think they've changed the name these days. Royal something. Royal Seed.
Royal Seed.
Yes, Royal Seed. They had a variety that used to change from green to red, and on OPV and open field variety. I think I've planted more than 18 different capsicum. I love capsicum. I have capsicum on my farm all the time. What I'm asking is the climate change. Climate has really changed. Everything has changed. If you're given an opportunity to, and also now COVID comes in. What do you think is these skills? What are these skills that young people like you should perfect or should be taught? Actually, the ones who are still in college and campus should be taught. What are some of these skills? I mean, considering that farmers are being told to be able to perfect their farming skills, where do you come in? Where do you fit in making sure farmers are succeeding in this?
Okay. You know, when you go for studies, you are being taught, is that just a syllabus? Eh? But a person is the one who comes to the field and start do some research to see what or which thing is needed. Okay, so the syllabus has no problem, but the person who is studying, you are being just taught how to solve a certain problem. So if you will be taught how to extend different services to farmers, and you are being taught how to handle the pests and diseases to manage them in the farm, they will not teach you about the agrochemicals. Okay, because agrochemicals, they change every time and then.
Yes.
They change every time and then according to the situation in the farm.
In the farms.
In the farms. Yeah, so they're just teaching them skills and giving them knowledge on how to handle those problems in the farm.
So lazima ufike kwa ground. You have to be on the ground to understand what is happening and what to learn.
Yeah.
So we want to go for a short break. But before we go for a short break, I just want to ask, is it really true that we do not have jobs in agriculture? Yes, no.
Is it really true that we do not have jobs in agriculture? No.
No.
So their jobs are there.
There are
Yeah,
jobs.
We will come back to that.
Uh-huh.
I will hold you. We are going,
Okay.
for those who are watching us, we're going for a short break. We'll be back and we'll be talking about something very interesting. Careers in agriculture, reality, myth. Are there jobs in agriculture? We've just been told, yes, there are jobs in agriculture. We just need to go and get deeper. We'll be coming back shortly. This is a Farmers Made Morning Show. One of the most important activities on our farms is scouting. Why is it important? Because you get to know what is affecting your crops on a daily basis. Join me, Noah Nasiali Kadima, every Tuesday, 7:30 p.m., where we guide you to attain knowledge and grow profits.
Are you a farmer facing challenges in your farm? Pests, diseases, or even unsatisfactory produce? Worry no more. The solution is here. Join us every Tuesday on Diagnostic Tuesday, where we talk about various issues affecting agriculture and interacting with experts with knowledge in different sectors of agriculture to provide you with appropriate solutions, giving hope to farmers to attain better yields, to achieve financial success and development. Our farmers attain knowledge and grow profits.
progress from agriculture to agribusiness, market is key. Join us every Wednesday as we bring to you Market Watch, a show that covers candid discussions regarding the state of the market. Tune in and let's turn our farms into businesses.
To a Farmers Mid Morning Show. Your host Noah Nasiali Kadima, and I'm joined by Lillian Thomas, and she has another name we'll tell you tomorrow, and Stephen. Both of them have studied in agriculture, different syllabuses in terms of content, and most importantly is to note is that both of them have knowledge, but just different stages of their careers. Is that they've understood now that, oh, I need more of the practical starting with, and that is the question that we're asking today. Should the content in the courses that are being offered in agriculture be changed? Should they be done differently? And that is what we're asking today. Careers in agriculture. What should we do differently? And now, just to getting back to the discussion, for those who are watching us, this is the Farmers Mid Morning Show discussing about agriculture. We want to create solutions for farmers, and that is the beginning. We're starting. And as we discuss this, we will ask you to send us comments. And I will just love to read some of the comments that are there already. We have some of the comments there. Somebody has said that, yes, here are the comments. Somebody has said that they're watching Hillary, Toddy Hillary. Thank you. Tell us where you're watching us from. And we have a very interesting comment here from, what is his name? Collins Kulei. Collins Kulei says, I studied agriculture and biotechnology. If there's something I'd need changed is the courses made 80% practical. It would change a whole lot for excursions and hands-on learning.
Too much theory.
Sorry?
There's too much theory,
Mhm.
and yet it's a practical course.
Okay.
So it should be more of practical than theory. There's a thing I really like about medicine. Students in UON, you are doing pharmacy first year. By the time
Yes.
you're getting to the second semester, third
Yes.
semester, and you're getting to second year, already you guys are doing your classes from Kenyatta Hospital. Like you guys are already in the field. You're learning everything on the ground.
So unaamka ukijua pale unafanya.
Yes, because I have friends like sai wanakaa near Kenyatta. Ni second year. Like ameshaanza practical, so atakwambia by the way tulifundishwa kufanya hii, we were taught to do this, we were taught to do this. The doctor I am under was teaching me this. Like already wamepewa mtu anawa guide while still in school. So by the time you're coming out,
Yes,
you already know what you're doing.
So let me ask you a question. Let's break it down. I think that's a very good point, and that's something Stephen was saying, and that's what Kule is saying. We need to have the 80% of the practical. Okay?
Yeah.
Do you think that it was intentional for government or whoever in the education sector to structure the courses that way for degree courses and this other way for diploma courses?
It was not an intention on my side because many people or many students they normally intend to love theory than practicals. Even that practical session, you may get that they are not there, they are absent. But in theory class, you may get that they are there. So it's not a government intention to put that.
Yes.
So to say that
it's just failure.
Yeah.
It's
just failure for just failure for some students because you can.
But the courses are structured more of theory and less of practical.
You know, theory.
Yes.
You have less instructors, but the lecturers are many. So they give theory, they give practical short period of time, but theory they give it a long time.
So it is intentional.
Yeah. No, it's not intentional. It's not intentional.
So you're saying that the practical courses require more lecturers.
Yeah.
Oh, more lectures for you as a student to attend. Or I'm not understanding.
In short, he's saying the lecturers we have, they are not more into practical. These people wamefanya tu kukuja kuwafundisha, like amefanya PhD yake to teach. This person is not even doing his practical.
Exactly.
Yeah, anafundisha.
So let me ask you, let us now break down this course content. What are you taught? You've mentioned some very big terminology, biotechnology, all these things. But what are you taught? Because at the end of the day, me, kama mkulima, I want somebody who can show me how to prepare my land. And if I was farming, if one of you studied in graduated in 2018, probably you're in an area where nobody has ever done drip irrigation. So as a farmer, I want somebody who can show me how to install drips. I want to see, all those things, and not just crop management. Because crop management is kupiga dawa na kuweka fertilizer. Let us be honest.
Okay.
So, and I'm not planning to be the best tomato farmer. Okay. There's no competition. I just want to be able to sell my tomatoes well in a better market, produce well, round or oval, big size. Haijapigwa na tuta absoluta, haijapigwa na spider mite, haijapigwa na kitu yote. Like today, one of the farmers called me and told me, hey, which is the best madawa for dynamite? Now I've done the other way around. For spider mites, Okay. So what I was asking is, what is this thing that you are taught that you need to add something or perfect something? For example, a farmer, mimi ni mkulima na kupigia simu nataka kuanza kupanda nyanya. How do you guide me with the knowledge that you have?
Okay. With the knowledge that I have, when you want to start tomato production, I'll first ask you the area that you are, because the ecological conditions vary. And we go with different varieties of tomatoes. And I will ask you also to do some soil sampling to see if your soil is good for a certain tomato variety.
Yes.
And the thing will just work.
So
you do a soil test.
So you start with the soil test.
Yeah, start with the soil test and the conditions that or ecological conditions.
Is that what is in the course content? Do you start that way? Are you told that you have to tell farmers to start? Because I have looked at some syllabus now, but just let me know. I've not seen the Subukura. Is that something that you're told to start with?
No, but what to do? You say that you have to perfect your skills. So
now pause there.
And
before we go into perfecting skills,
okay,
I'm looking at basically somebody saying, I want to study agriculture. Which is the best college in agriculture in Kenya that you can tell this person, go and study?
Bukura.
I can advise him or her to go to Bukura. Yeah.
But this person is coming from Namanga.
Yeah, we even have, I studied with South Sudan people from all the way from Sudan.
So do you think that so are they studying to be the best farmers, or are they studying to offer extension services?
To offer extension services.
What a farmer who wants to get some knowledge, where do they get this knowledge from? Ama wakulima wabaki wakulima, sisi tu extension officers wasomee hiyo kitu.
Sasa we have these ATC, agricultural training centers.
Do they work? Apart from apart from the Machakos one, which I know is very active, I'm a member, and there's one. Have I seen another one? Yes, Wambugu Farm is an excellent one. Yes, and in Western Kenya, I don't know if I've seen
Maseno.
Are they
Maseno ATC?
Is it active?
Alafu we have
seasonally. I don't know if it's usually full time.
Sahi ni kama management yake haiko mzuri sana.
So that is now what we will get into. Some of the basic things of management, of all these things, because if they were active, it would have been a different thing. Okay. So as we are discussing, this is something that we brought in very, very critically, and which I want us to touch on now. This section is, what are these other skills? I know we've asked that in the previous section, but what are these skills now that you can now start sharpening? What's the number of communication? Communication, you're either a good communicator or not. You either know mathematics or you don't. You either know how to count money and make money grow or not. But now we're talking about the science part, because the rest is art. Because you can be taught how to communicate. True.
Okay.
Sindio?
Yeah.
But you cannot be taught how to communicate with farmers. Yeah. Can you be taught how to communicate with farmers?
But on my side, on my course, I was taught extension strategies.
But it's because you already know how to talk. I have had agronomists here who I would ask a question and they would say yes and no. They would not get into the details. Because now farmers, why I'm asking this is because the farmers that were there in 2015, 2016, 2017 are a bit different from the farmers now. Because a farmer wants to engage with an extension officer, ule atamsaidia. Zamani tulikuwa tunalipa hata shilingi 5,000 for extension services. But these days I have to ask myself, and I was talking to a farmer on Saturday, and she told me that the extension services she paid for 2 acres of onions was more than the cost of the seeds yes, because it is 3,000 shillings per week. So 3,000 per week times 12 weeks, that's 36,000 shillings.
Wow. Yeah.
You get the scenario?
Yeah.
So that is already expensive, more than the cost of seed of an acre. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you look at it very critically, what is these things that now young people, I'll try and see if I can get Mungare on the phone. Okay. What are some of these things that are lacking from you were taught? How many were in class?
In my class?
Yes, in Bukura.
On my side, I was taught how to handle the...
No, how many were you in class?
Oh, how many?
Yes.
We were 95.
95.
In
yeah.
agriculture.
In agriculture.
In
biotechnology.
Yeah, we graduated in 95, but we were almost 150.
So your course was agriculture and biotechnology?
Yeah.
Not even extension services?
Yeah.
So extension services, is it part of the course?
Yeah.
It's part of the agriculture.
Yeah.
And what percentage? If you were to give the different percentages, like
what was more like?
Yes.
Was it more of biotechnology or was it more of agriculture?
Yes.
It was more of agriculture
than biotechnology.
Yeah.
So biotechnology is a fraction of it.
Yeah. So when you break down the agriculture, what was more in terms of extension services, in terms of agronomy, in terms of this? Because I understand agronomy and extension services are two different things.
Yes.
What was the percentage?
Percentage of agronomy and
extension services.
Extension services.
Yes.
Extension services was more than agronomy.
So you were taught how to go and talk to farmers.
Yeah.
To provide solutions for farmers.
Yeah.
Very interesting. You?
It is for us. It was more of a balance actually.
Mm-hmm. So you cannot say that all the young people who are graduating from colleges can all of them go and talk to farmers. Let's be honest. I mean, my background was in technology, and very few people could even sell a technology solution. Very few. I think I know more than 2,000 people in almost my age. I'm not very old, by the way, my friends. In agriculture, in IT and technology, I perfected. So for me, I went and perfected product and service design. Where before you come up with a product, we'll be able to panel beat it and understand how it is, the users, the persona. Is that the same thing? How does that agriculture extension services class look like? Do you define these are the farmers, this is the type of farmer, or how do you? Because I mean, most of the people who have come from Bukura have actually, I mean, I'll mention, I mean, with all due respect, have gone to Alati again. What is this thing that is not being taught in Bukura, being one of the best in East Africa, actually in East and Central Africa, that is not being taught there, that you have to leave Bukura and go and perfect skills somewhere else?
I can say that what lack in Bukura is how to handle clients one-on-one. So when you go, when you come from Bukura and you go to Latia, you are going to interact with different clients, and you can give solution to them, and you will be perfecting the skill of talking to. But in Bukura, you are just being taught how to handle, but you have not interacted with those farmers or clients.
So it's theory
Fantastic.
work of handling.
Yeah.
So basically, what you're saying is that the soft skills of how to approach a customer, how to do this, how to guide them, and all that is lacking in this other side.
Yeah.
So, do you think it is something that should be taught in the communications class? Because I remember you said you are taught communication. Is it something that should be taught in the communication, or what is it?
Yeah.
Okay, very interesting, Lillian. Let me ask you a question. Young ladies in agriculture, myth, fact, can they succeed or not? We'll be having an interview with Selina Sepukanya, if you're watching us from all the way from Zimbabwe on Friday, and Ask the Expert. So let me ask you, young ladies in agriculture, in terms of career choice, is it something that is a plus, minus, hard? Because I know very many, and I respect very many. There's Shiro Mwangi, Maureen Situma. There's quite many that I know. But I'm seeing a drop because when I go and visit farmers, I see more of the gentlemen. Is it because they're the ones who can ride on motorbikes? I don't know.
I think it's because that's what we had from the past. Like when you look at the statistics we had from the past, like agriculture was done like it was, let's say more of male dominated, and then recently ndio ladies wameanza kujoin recently.
Why? What has attracted ladies to join, and why do you think they are not joining before?
I think tuni mentality, mindset. It's a mindset. You know, like when you come and you find like engineering nyama boy, and then you decide to stay away from it, sindio? And then sai you come and find more people, ladies are doing engineering and they're doing it well and they have these nice status, you know, and then people shift to this other side. Alafu pia sai, I think people observe a lot where the world is headed towards.
Okay.
So the observations that you're making, actually you're realizing actually the world is shifting towards this side.
Okay.
So people are actually shifting. For me, I think it's just people just shifting according to the trends. That's what
So it's
I
just a
think.
shift. There's nothing
It's
major.
just a shift.
Nothing major. Very interesting. What do you think?
Okay.
Because at Latia, I see very many ladies.
Okay.
In Latia, very many ladies actually really attracted to agriculture.
Okay.
Yes.
As Sylvian has said, that you may, as an extension officer, ladies may see that is a job for men only. But on my side, the ladies that we were studying with,
Yes.
they approached it that anything lady can do.
Yeah, that's what I said in the past. That's what people thought. And then Sai, you see, like Sai, we are trying to balance. People are like, ladies can do this. We can actually do this. So people are actually getting into these other fields that initially we didn't have ladies.
Yeah, sasa mwanadada anaona kwamba yeye anaweza fanya chenye mwanaume anafanya. Kama anaona mwanadada fulani amefanya na amefaulu, why me? Why not me?
So it's more of a gender war.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into those wars. I don't get into those wars. But is it more of a gender war?
Will they say again the act of role models? So right
Fantastic.
now you're finding you
Okay.
have more role models, like you have women you can actually look up to who are doing this.
In agriculture.
Yes.
From a higher perspective. Okay.
Initially ulikuwa unapata ni wanaume pekee. And then there's a way human beings are wired. We are kind of, you see, as a lady, I'd be more influenced by another lady who is doing something than more of a man would influence me, because you know I feel like we can connect.
Naona pale unatupeleka.
Hapana, but ndio nasema, so it's like more of unaona role models sahi ni wengi who are doing it.
I know my producer is watching and laughing here, but I know where Lillian is taking us to to a gender war. So let me ask you. I want us now to break the. I mean, it's very interesting that you brought these things up because I've always been wondering because when you talk to different people and one says that I have a diploma, I have quite a number of which I'll be sharing as well. Just in my from my inbox. Many, very many. You know, there's somebody says, yeah, I'm looking for a farm job. I've done a diploma. Another one says, I'm looking for a farm job. I've done a degree. There's another one says, here, Noah. Hi Noah, I'm a farmer and also a member of a Farmers and Africa Farmers Club. I'm interested in carrot farming, currently in Nairobi. Can you help me find an experienced carrot farmer? Farmers asking for experienced farmers and not extension officers. Why?
Should I say venye Steve has said? You find this, like you see the way Steve is saying.
Yes.
Them, they are taught to be extension officers.
Yes.
These people are not doing farming on the ground. Out wamekuja kuambia, this is what you do, this is what should be done. They advise you. They want someone when you're an experience on the ground. You see a farmer, you've been here from day one to the last day. Because you know everything.
Yes, because just to add on what you're saying, and I think Steve will also come chip in. Most farmers are asking for farmers who have experience. Steve, before I add anything, why do you think that's the case?
You know, farmers, they are spending more of their time on the ground. But extension officers, they are spending, you may get them in the offices. They don't know what is going on the ground.
Okay.
The moment you are giving the farmers knowledge and they perfect their skills, they know what they are doing and they just understand. They will just tell the new farmer what he or she is always doing on the farm, and the farmer will get easily. But me as an extension officer, I'm just there to advise, but I'm not doing.
So, and that now brings me back. So we go back to the course content. What are you taught? Because you've mentioned very brilliant things you taught about the practicals and all this. Are you taught from scratch? Kupima mchanga, kulima, kutengeneza furrows. Are you taught that? Yeah, no, let me show you.
Unafundishwa hizo vitu zote. But you know, let me tell you where the problem comes in.
Yes.
Una mentality iko hii Kenya. You are going to school to be employed by someone. I am going to go under someone. You don't want to do it on your own.
It
like
is
you
like,
don't want to grow.
it's like you know where I was going to.
Yeah.
And hence the reason I ask, and I am always, sometimes I'm fought online. Very seriously, by the way. I ask myself and I ask questions. What is this thing that an extension officer or an agronomist will add to my value of being a farmer? Because if this person is not practicing it themselves, how will they be able to help me practice it?
But under my course,
yes,
in diploma, I was taught and I did practically.
Good. So let me ask you, and I want to challenge you, both of you. Lillian has brought something very important. Can you partner with farmers instead of farmers paying you? You say, tutaanza project ya kupanda watermelon. We'll do watermelon 1 acre. I will guarantee you that you will get 14 tons. Let us have a target of 10 tons. 10 tons, that is your money. 4 tons is my money. You pay me according to the produce I help you.
It makes sense.
I'm not asking. Steven is about to fall down. I'm not asking. So, we agree. Instead of me paying you extension services, you to come to my farm all the time, and I pay you. We partner. I provide X, you provide agronomic support. When you go to harvest, you also help me sell my produce.
You know where the problem comes from? Is where when I request you to bring me something that I need and you fail.
No.
And I do what we do it and say,
before we fail, what if I have an alternative?
Hiyo inaweza kuwa ngori kidogo.
Kwa nini? Is it that you don't believe yourselves or what is this? Because it's just a matter of 3 months and we are harvesting.
You know, you may be targeting something, but you have emergencies.
Disaster.
Disaster.
But you're the expert here.
Sasa kama zikikuja na ziharibu percent kubwa kuliko yenye inabaki. Yes, you know nature. We have to control nature.
But we suffer, both of us.
Okay.
In short, you're saying.
I mean, I've bought a thermos. I've come from town with a thermos. But since I was buying in that shop, I could not be able to test hot water. So I took a risk. Nikanunua thermos ikafika nyumbani, ikalala. A year when you reach home, you have to put that thermos. Long time you used to have to put cold water first, then in the morning you put hot. Those days, maybe ni wa kitambo kidogo. So what I'm asking specifically is, Steven, we partner and say, okay, fine. And then that way you make sure that you have around 20 farmers. All of these farmers you're partnering at different stages. Huyu anavuna, unakula kitu hapo. Unavuna, huyu anatengeneza hivyo. Is it practical? Is it workable? Is it something that people can do?
Yeah. On my side, I can do.
Like you umesema ni ngori kidogo.
Again, on my side, yes. I can do.
So
because I believe in myself.
Hey, what is this thing that you say you believe in? What is this thing that makes you say you believe in yourself that most don't have? Because I hear sometimes people say, oh, pana. When farmers harvest, wanakuruka.
No, you know, most farmers wanaruka agronomist because wengine wanakuja tu wanapeana tu maneno, but they don't demonstrate to them what to do. But if me I go to the farm, I will just demonstrate na nifanye. Hata mimi mwenyewe nipate hata one day niko hapo nafanya na nitakuwa na add value. But sasa mimi nikikuja tu nikuambia, utaona huyu jamaa alikuwa tu anakuja anasema mambo na anatoka. Lakini
anauza madawa.
Ana promote company.
So let me ask you, Lilia. You've said something important. We are taught, we are trained, go to school, pata masomo, go get a job.
End up buying extension services. Also, why live by the way?
Unapeana extension services ama you're employed? Because you see, there's a difference. Because I envision a scenario where young people can be able to do this. You know, I'll share with it as we continue. So, I know we're supposed to have touched on something called youth in agribusiness. You know, is it a reality? Is it a reality, Stephen? Youth in agribusiness. Are the energies, the abilities, and strengths, and all those good things that young people, because we have some people who have not been taught communication skills, but they communicate very well. Do you think that they're being used? Do you think your services are being, I mean, farmers are looking for your services, but do you think the government is fully utilizing your skills? I mean, one of the pillars of government is zero hunger, food security, yes.
On my side, you know, we have some people, they are not going to school, but you can get that they are doing good thing like farming, na wanafanya vizuri sana kuliko hata ule mwenye ameenda atakuso.
Kwa nini?
So because of the passion. You know me, I can go just study in just for sake of studying. I have a course ati mimi nasema wacha niende nikuwe mzee wa kilimo, lakini sina passion. But we have a guy mwenye alikuwa na passion kutoka kuzaliwa. Yeye anakifanya, anajua tu unafanya kitu fulani. So hapo ndio sasa penye wanapiganga wengine 10-0. Yeah, we have people wenye wanafanya kilimo, lakini unasikia anakuambia mimi hata sijawahi kanyaga kwa klasi ya kilimo, lakini hizi vitu mimi kufanya tu na naona zinafanya.
Kama mimi sijasomea kilimo by the way. So do you want to say that of your 95 friends who graduated, how many of them have jobs?
Almost 70%.
70%.
Yeah.
What happened to the other 30?
Hao ni wenye wanatoka shule, wanaenda wana relax mahali, wanafanya a different business, hawataki kuingia kwa job yao. Then hata chenye nimesema, they don't want to volunteer. Unaona hiyo kitu cha kuvolunteer, wengi wanakataa kabisa. Even me, I started with 10,000 shillings. Wananiambia, wewe bwana graduate, mbona unaanza na hizo vitu za watoto wadogo bwana, watu wenye hawajaenda shule? Kwambia even kuna mtu mwenye hajaenda shule but anapata pesa mingi kuniliko. So mimi chenye natafuta ni skills and experience. I want to have more experience than what I did in the school. But wewe ukikaa tu hapo na karatasi zako, hazitamea miguu zitoke ziende zikutafutie kazi. Wewe ndio ulitoka nyumbani na miguu zako kwenda kutafuta karatasi. Pia wewe bebana na karatasi zako, ukitembea na mguu kwenda kutafuta tena kazi, msaidiane na karatasi kutafuta kazi. Kwa hivyo ukikaa tu hapo useme karatasi itaniletea kazi. Ndio maana sisi youth wengi tunakufanga maskini. Sisi tunaangalia karatasi. Karatasi iko tu hapo kwa sanduku lako hapo kwa nini yako. Wewe utaangalianga tu unatoka kwa sanduku unaangalia.
Hata mimi naweza kula.
Unasema unaangalia unasema hii ni Steven Kasie diploma. wacha unarudisha na unarudi unakaa hapo. Karatasi haitamea miguu itoke hapo iende kutafutie kazi ndugu yangu.
So lazima utoke uende.
So lazima wewe utoke, ujitume na hiyo karatasi. Hata karatasi mimi kwanza nasema inifuate nyuma. Mimi niende mbele kwanza. Because nikitanguliza makaratasi maybe vitu zenye ziko hapo hata ziko fake.
Umesikia moto hapo. Hata mimi nimesikia kabaridi kidogo.
Anarusha mawe.
So basically, youth in agribusiness is in agriculture. I'm not talking about agribusiness today, by the way. I'm talking about agriculture. Young people who need to be equipped with skills for them to be able to train and train other farmers. Agribusiness is different. Agribusiness is selling. Agribusiness is simply selling produce. So hata mabroka wana practice agribusiness. I'm talking about agriculture because it comes with agri and then business. So you have to have and master the agri. Do you think that a time will come when technology will replace extension services?
Yes.
Yeah, technology can replace, but on my side, I don't think, because if you go to Googling, just people putting those things there, like the one creating. Mimi nikitoka hapa niende ni Google niseme nataka kutoa kitu about nyanya. Ni mimi tu tena, wewe ndio umetengeneza, unasema nataka kuwekea watu hii kitu wapate kule. Wenye wako na hiyo knowledge. Mimi nita create a page niweke niseme nataka bwana Noah apate hiki kitu ili pia yeye ajue. Ili pia yeye ajue. Google haiwezi toka tu ama mtu hawezi tengeneza simu na hizo vitu zote zitoke penye ziko zikuje zingie kwa simu zenyewe.
So it is possible or not?
Yes or no?
No.
Why no?
Because we are the human beings wenye tunafanya tu hizo vitu. Tunaweka kwa mtandao.
What do you think?
I think the trend yenye tunaenda. No, let's start. You see this app we usually advertise Plantix.
Yes.
You see, I will need Steve to come and tell me ini pest gani ni disease gani.
Yes.
Sindio? Right now I have an app. Nachukua napiga picha. Ina diagnose. Inaniambia shida ni nini. What I need to do. Why on earth would I go looking for Steve? When
Very
I actually have that.
Very interesting.
Inaniambia weather forecast. Inaniambia what is good for me to do on this day. What is not right for me to do on this day. Why would I be looking for your services?
Na utajuaje inakuambia ukweli?
These people, no, let me say this. These things mingi zimetengenezwa na professionals. Utapata professionals in agriculture, they come up with content. So most probably you can rely on them. Unajua si kama iti ni Google yenye nimekuja kila mtu amekuja maybe kila kitu Wikipedia.
Unaona
let's hold on that. We'll be taking a short break shortly. For those who are watching us, a very interesting discussion here. The second segment we're just finishing and we're going for a short break, but before that, one of the things that we are discussing here is careers in agriculture, not agribusiness, careers in agriculture. But most importantly, what are the content that young people have been trained? What else should they be trained on? Should the syllabuses change? Should the content be adjusted? Let us know. Let us have your facts. There's a very important point that Lillian has mentioned here is the fact that probably one day technology will replace extension services. How? Do you think it's true? Do you think that it will reach a point where you don't need an agronomist coming to your farm? Let us know in the comment section. This is the Farmers Mid-Morning Show. We will be right back.
Mic check. Unanisikia? Is my sound okay?
Stand by in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You are on air.
Join me, Conrad Kibe, on the Farm Drive every weekday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. right here on A Farmers Media, where we tell you the story of an African farmer. We give you COVID-19 updates, and most interestingly, we give you the pan of the day. Follow us on all our social media platforms at A Farmers with a Z at the end on Facebook, and definitely A Farmers Media on YouTube. See you there. Allah. 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 Allah.
Welcome back to a Farmers Made Morning Show right here from County 034, the heart of Kajiado County, all the way bringing you positive vibes from the farm and making sure that we are all learning and benefiting from every activity that we're engaging in, whether it is in our farms and any other activity. And something that we've been discussing and chatting on before we took a break is careers in agriculture, whether it's something that is workable, something that can really work, or something that we are just dreaming. And we've been discussing quite a lot. We have some of the comments section. In the comment section there, we have some comments there. Yes. Collins Kulei mentioned, though we had mentioned this earlier, says, I studied agriculture and biotechnology. If there's something that needs to be changed, is for the courses to be made 80% practical. It would change a whole lot of excursions and hands-on learning. Fantastic, very nice. Thank you very much, Collins. We have Marcus Ngugi Gitau, who says that is quite an interesting approach. Fantastic. Then we have Tijani Ibn Aliyu, who says that technology and digital related careers is not inevitable in the area of agriculture. As an agricultural and IoT engineer, I see a lot going in the direction of technology if we want to achieve sustainable and smart farming in our today's world. Fantastic. Thank you very much, all of you, for commenting. And we're going to get in deeper. But before we go that, we just want to remind you that despite the challenges that we are facing right now across the world, we have the pandemic that is cutting across. We see now the third wave has hit across all parts of the world. Our country as well included as well. Sorry. And important thing is that to note that even some of the countries that are actually manufacturing the vaccine are also being affected. So what I want to urge you is always make sure that you are adhering to all the COVID protocols. Make sure that you are always carrying this particular tool. This is a life-saving tool. You know, the mask is now the global, universal flag. Make sure that you're carrying it all the time. Make sure you sanitize it. Make sure you sanitize. Make sure you are actually being cautious. giving the distance, putting the distance. Make sure you're washing your hands. I prefer washing your hands always. If you don't need to leave your house, don't leave your house. We will bring to you all these positive vibes. If you have to go to the farm, remember that we also have shared with our partners, Masico, Agrifin. We've shared together with other partners, iShamba, Penda Health. We have shared some information that you see during our shows on how you can be able to protect yourself, protect the people at the farm, protect, because if you are healthy, if you are safe and healthy, that is when you can start thinking about production. We are going back into our discussion, and we'll be sharing some of the numbers later on in our show with Conrad Kibe, later on in the farm drive, on some of the numbers, COVID numbers as well. One thing that we want to just share with you is the fact that we are praying for all those who've been affected. We are the our countrymen and women have been affected. Our farmers have been affected. So we want to stand in union with them. Just to let you know that we are praying for your success. We're praying for blessings to come, for protection. We know it is not easy. Some of these things are not easy because they're not controlled by man. And we just want to make sure that we stand together as a community of farmers. Now, getting back to the discussion, technology replacing extension services. For me, I think it will reach a point that technology will actually replace extension services. What do you think?
On my side, these extension services, the technology that we are using, before somebody can get something on the media, it's just an extension officer or a group of extension officers who have come together to come up with something that is one, to ensure that they throw it in the media to ensure that their farmers are getting. So on my side, I think that it will not make, because we are with the people doing those things in the media. So we are just extending the services through the media.
Fantastic. Very nice approach. Very nice comment there. When you talk about extension services, what part of extension services can be digitized? Because definitely, even with COVID, you cannot go and visit as many farmers. What is this part, or what do you think should be done? Because most of the agronomists I've met across Africa, they keep on saying no, so it's impossible. But now we have groups, we have Facebook groups, we have channels that people are learning out of this. I learned from so much of that, and I mean from extension officers definitely. But I've perfected it, and I'm also even helping other people, even digital. Some people ask me, I take them through, we get on a Zoom call, I ask them a few questions, give them feedback, give them advice, and they're actually able to do it. What part? 80-20. 80% farming is practical. True. What part of the extension services can be digitized so that we focus on these other 20 that needs to be perfected?
I think the part that has to be digitized, when we are doing these seminars, things like holding seminars, farmers normally meet together, but now we can just go to a media like this. I come here, I teach farmers through this media. I know that they will be in their houses watching me, and they'll have to get something there. So instead of coming and crowding together because of this pandemic, COVID-19, they just get the information from me via their houses when they are just in their houses.
Very nice.
Yeah.
How many of your 70 who got jobs are able to do that? Usichome. How many can do that?
I think on my side, I believe in myself. When I've got you, mimi ndio sasa naona nimeanza.
Jamaa hajui kuchoma. How many are you do you know for sure you cannot do everywhere? I think probably some are in Mombasa, some are in Western Kenya. If you get a farmer who is in Mombasa, do you have somebody who you can say, by the way, hey, vile tulifundishwa kuna mkulima yuko mahali fulani, end of morning?
Yeah, wako.
Yeah, wako. I love the way the fact that this is coming out very clearly, because listening to many agronomists, there's something that they say, I have to come to your farm
nione mimi mwenyewe.
nifanye mwenyewe. I'm not an extension officer, but I'm not even an agriculturalist. I'm just I'm just a farmer. But even when farmers ask me that, please, I need help, I always tell them I have to come to your farm physically to be able to see this. Yes. Where do you think is the disconnect? In terms of like some people saying extension services cannot be digitized.
Extension officers.
Let me rephrase the question. I think I've confused you. Initially, you said extension services cannot be replaced by technology.
Yeah.
Is it the delivery of the extension services, or is it the actual extension services?
The actual. Yeah.
So the actual can be digitized, can be replaced by technology.
Yeah.
So you don't need to put fuel on the motorbike and go to the farm.
Yeah.
So how do you think the media can come in? Because not all extension officers can have a setup like this. Where do you think the media can come in?
The media can come in the section that I've said that in this part they hold. You get that there is a time that we normally hold seminars to farmers. So instead of calling all the farmers to come all the way from different parts of Kenya, we can just create a page or something that we may reach them, how to reach them. So we organize with either you or another media. We say that we want to teach our farmers because we have a seminar, but according to this condition, we cannot do that. The situation is not good. So tunakuja tunaongea na wewe, tunakuambia a group of extension officers. Tunakuja tunaongea na wewe, tunakuambia tunataka kuuza wakulima wetu na sisi utapata this percent, tutakulipa hivi na sisi wakulima wetu wapate chenye kinahitajika. So
do you think that is very possible?
Yeah, inaweza fanyika.
Kitu ambayo ukishikana mnaweza sema tufanye hivi.
Yeah.
Inaweza saidia wakulima.
Yeah, inaweza saidia wakulima.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for that report. Lillian, your thoughts?
Also, the media companies can incorporate more agricultural programs. That's what I feel. I feel like we should have more programs related to agriculture because, we are doing more of entertainment, yet we are seeing agriculture is like the stronghold. So people can't get information. And trust me, a lot of people watch TV. A lot of people listen to radio.
Yeah.
A lot of people are on social media. If we can just have programs suited purposely for that,
yes,
it will be better. And then we do more coverage. Like you decide you'll be working with some farmers. You will be covering what they do from the word go. It's like you're documenting something.
Yes.
It's like a documentary that you can always store, that someone who wants to access it, like if we are using like us for Facebook, we have our videos there.
Yes.
If we decide we're going to cover a certain farmer from when he started growing capsicum, let's say you, or cabbages, we walk you through the journey.
My friend, mimi na cabbages at 29
sana. Disappointment. Yeah, so you just walk a person, document it, just have it. Like mtu anaweza access always, because a lot of people are on social media, they watch TV,
yes,
they listen to radio. Like,
let me ask you, Steve, how can this content look like? How should it look like? Is it a video practically kwa shamba, nikisema I'm pruning tomatoes, this is how we prune, ama nikaa kwa studio na explain?
If there is a video that you have recorded, kama una prune tomatoes, unaweza edit alafu uweke hapo, unaonyesha
this is how to do it.
But uko kwa studio na inatakana uangalie time yenye kila mtu anakuanga kwa nyumba ili kila mtu aweze kupata hiyo information. But ukipeana time yenye watu wengi wameenda kazini, utapata we have few farmers wenye wata listen to that.
Fantastic. We have a solution for that. That is what we are setting up for those who are joining us. We have the Africa Farmers Training and Resource Center that we're setting up. But a bigger part of it will be digital content for farmers, practical digital content for farmers, as you've mentioned. And the advantage of having actually the online content is the fact that you can watch it any other time. You can always, it's called to rewind, you can forward, you can say, oh, let me do this, let me share this information. But, I will add a but. I still believe extension services can not be replaced by technology. Probably, I can say, some segments of extension services can be digitized. But a farmer who has never planted cabbages,
So guidance.
If you tell them spacing a cabbage ni 30 by 45, umetupa huyo mkulima mbali sana. And hence the reason why one of the things that we will be doing for those who are watching us, and I mean, Stephen, for purposes of you being here, is the fact that we want to start training more extension officers. Because yes, COVID is here, it will go at some point, we know for sure, but farming has to be practical. And one of the reasons is the fact that mkulima lazima muonyeshe how to make a bed, how to make a furrow, you know, and as you see, farmers want to learn from each other. Farmers asking, I've visited 4,630 something farms, you know, and all these farms, if I would say I want to come back again, they'll be like, please come back again and show us this. You get? There's a farmer who called me today in the morning, sent me a message on Messenger, and said, hey, by the way, I stay in Kitengela. My farm is in I think Makueni or something. Yes, Makueni. I would just love to visit your farm and see something and just learn something out of it. So I still believe that technology and technology, we are yet to perfect technology. We cannot start perfecting technology in farmers if farmers have not tested their soils. We have to see which is the more important. If you develop a drone technology, which is fantastic, a friend of mine, Danico Ventures, is doing it. But farmers also need to understand what records am I keeping, so that when the drone releases gives out reports, you know where to insert these reports, you know. And we'll be talking about some of this technology, but then Lillian, I'll take you guys through a technology that is being developed by an organization, an American organization called Rapid Farm, and it's brilliant, you know, farm management software and all that. And I want to ask, as we finalize, Stephen, how many farmers keep records? Don't shout. How many farmers keep records?
A few.
Where do you see the difference? Is the challenge of them keeping records? We have to whisper. Just speak up. Why is the challenge? Why do farmers not keep records?
Farmers do not keep the records because wanaweza ona maybe nachomeka ama natumia vitu mingi kwa shamba. Because in fact nimeona wengi sana unaenda mtu ako na 20 acres but unapata mtu hata keep record yoyote. Sasa unashindwa huyu mtu namna gani? So the moment anatumia inputs kwa ile stock list haizi kuja kureduce, atajue fulani ilitumika, hajui namba gani.
So ni uoga.
Sasa ni uoga, sasa atashindwa sasa nimetumia pesa yote. Something like that.
Steve, yes. Look at that camera. You have more than 70,000 young people in agriculture or wanting to get in agriculture. Talk to them. What advice would you give them?
On my side, when I want to increase my number of farmers, on my side, when I go to my village and I see that somebody is doing something constructive and I can help him somewhere where he's going wrong, and even if I'm having my friends and they're showing interest to do that thing, I will help and to ensure that the agriculture is a thing that is growing on, and we are growing bigger to create our companies, our own companies. So let us not go back and sit back, relax, but let us move on. Let us start. We have to start. When you say that you can't start or you are not risky, you have to risk, and we have to be risk takers ndio tujue kwamba tunaweza fanya kitu. But ukikaa kando useme hapana mimi siwezi, you can't. But I can advise you to start anywhere and you will have to achieve your goals. So even if you are starting to look for a job, you must have a starting point, or if you want to start something, you must have a starting point. So naweza waaju wote nyinyi muanze kufanya kilimo, and we'll be happy because agriculture is the backbone of our Kenyan economy, and I have seen that it is improving our living standards. It creates job opportunities for others, and I will be happy to see young people like I engaging or being enrolled into agriculture, and I'll be happy for that. Thank you.
Fantastic. Lillian.
Yes.
But Lillian never has final words. To young people who've studied agriculture like yourself, the ladies and the gentlemen who've studied agriculture, some looking for jobs, what advice would you give them?
Okay, agriculture is still viable, very viable. It's something that can be done. And if you can just eradicate this mentality of you have to be employed by someone, you have to be under someone for you to do something, it will be better. Like if you have somewhere you can obtain land, nowadays we can actually lease land, right? You
Yes.
can, and you can actually start small, like grow your skills mwenyewe to pole pole, work with another farmer who has done it maybe, or an expert to guide you through, like just do it, start alafu finally you'll attain whatever you need to attain.
Fantastic. And remember to watch a farmer's media for all the information that you can get, whether you're a farmer, whether you're planning to study agriculture, whether you've studied agriculture, you want to sharpen your skills, sign up with us in the Farmers Training and Resource Center, where we want to help you to be able to get empowered by equipping you with latest skills in agriculture, in farming, so that you can be able to attain knowledge and grow profits. Right here from a Farmers Media, we want to thank the production team for making sure that we are live. They are there and they are telling us now time is up. Thank you very much for making sure that this has been a success. We want to make sure that you perfect all the skills you as a farmer and be able to transform your farm into a business. All the way from County 034, this has been a Farmers Mid Morning Show.